Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, it is a sign of desperation of authoritarian regimes that they cancel elections. There's due to be an election. We're going to cancel the election. Why? Because we're going to lose. That sort of thing. And it's the sort of thing you see in third world dictatorships, tin pot countries, banana republics, that sort of thing. It's not the sort of thing you expect in a modern Western democracy. But of course, we're not in a modern Western democracy. We're in a modern Western Marxist dictatorship. And so to that end, next year's council elections are going to be cancelled because they don't want to change authorities. Now, to be fair, not all of them, but some of them are going to be cancelled. And what's going to be imposed are shadow councils. That's not how I'm describing them, you understand. That's how the government are describing them. We're going to cancel some of the May elections and impose a council upon the locals decided for by government. Yeah, that kind of sounds very democratic in a country like Britain, doesn't it? Having the right to vote out your council, change your council, particularly by a Labour government that is so amazingly unpopular, led by a very unpopular man. Watch my next video for that one. But what's leading this on? Well, the local government minister has been wheeled out because, obviously it can't come from the top. They've got to find some poor patsy. So they've got this very junior minister called Jim McMahon to come out and make the announcement. He said he would be setting out details of why some of these elections were going to be cancelled. And when he was asked if all of the council elections due to occur next May will go ahead, he said no. He said, well, the plans are that they will, but that they may not. He was on LBC with Nick Ferrari this morning. They wheel him out, don't they? Gaslighting us, getting us prepared for the bad news. And he said at the moment, and this is his quote, at the moment the assumption is that elections are going ahead. However, it is usual in a process of reorganisation that when a council makes a request for reorganisation, that if there are any elections taking place to a council that essentially won't exist within the term of those elections, then you hold off the elections and you elect a shadow body. And the shadow body basically is a form of the new councils that will follow. So what they're saying is that at some point in the next 4 years, some of these councils are going to change their form. They might merge with a neighbouring council. They may split and have half a council go on to that one, half a council go on to that one, and so forth. And so even though there's no set time frame for it to happen, because it may happen, you're not getting an election. You don't get to choose who your council are, and a council is imposed based on what they perceive to be the share of the vote. So a government minister decides who your council is. The removal of democracy. Locals have no right, no say. Locals have no self-localised government elected by themselves. It's imposed. And even if a council is going to close, merge, change, reorganise, whatever, the election must go ahead, and then those people stay in place until the time at which the change occurs. And of course, changing councils is not a new thing. We understand this. 1974, I remember, was the big one. I would be about 7 when that happened, but I have memories of it happening. We lost a lot of councils. We lost a county. But, it's not new and it happens. But you don't take away democracy. That's not what Britain is. Or at least that's not what Britain was. It's become that now because Marxism, because of the little communist cabal in the seats of power. And make no bones about it, if they get away with this, what's the next election they're going to try and cancel? The general election in 29? Wouldn't put them past it to try. And then you would have this 1,000-year Reich imposed upon us with an emperor sitting there and his stormtroopers. It is an abuse of power, it's an abuse of democracy, and it's clearly quite wrong. Let me know what you think. Till next time, Goodbye.